Alright guys, I'm going to explain what are the best skills in Genshin Impact. And the answer is, I have no clue. And that's because I've never used all the skills, I've never even used all the characters. But in this video I'm going to explain 5 key things that I kind of look at when kind of grading a skill to see how it kind of fits into the party and the kit. So the 5 things I look at are burst, or how fast it comes out. The second thing I look at is kind of like hit rate and how reliably it can connect with the enemy. The third thing I'll look at is power, or DPS. And then the fourth thing I'll look at is utility. And then the fifth thing I will look at is cooldown. So the first thing, which was speed, or how fast it comes out. That's just pretty much, is it a burst skill, or is it something like Amber's, like Amber's his skill, where it's out, but it's not doing anything. I mean, it is drawing the aggro of the enemies, but like if you want to get that fire effect, you saw how long it takes for it to blow up. So I would grade the speed kind of crappy for that skill. The next thing I'll look at is hit rate. So like with that skill right here, the hit rate is kind of crappy because like even if I throw it at the enemies, they're, if I'm running around the arena, the battlefield, chances are we're probably going to like run all the way over here, and then that thing's all the way over there, and it's going to blow up. I mean, granted it gets the aggro, but like even this AOE it's okay. It's not that good, but just given the combination of how long it takes to explode and just different factors, I wouldn't grade the hit rate that well, especially compared to other skills. And then the next thing I said I look at is kind of the power, the DPS. The doll skill, it's notorious for not having that much power. It's just your basic if you want to get the burn effect on. But even then, like, it's not that effective because its hit rate is so crappy. But if we go to someone like Fischl and we use her Oz skill, now Oz, for its hit rate, it's really good because like I can stand over here, I can start engaging in combat all the way over here. I can hit that guy, like they don't even notice me. So like the hit rate's really good. Like, or I can just like pop it off right next to me if I need it right away. Because like if enemies are on me or something. So the hit rate's really good. Now if we look at its DPS, like, I mean granted I have equipment and stats that are boosting it, but he's pretty much like an aimbot. He always hits his target, unless there's like something in the way. So his DPS is very consistent, its damage is pretty good, in my opinion. And then the fourth thing I look at is utility. So utility kind of comes in different forms, shapes and forms. So like with Amber, this still has utility. It's not completely useless. Like it draws aggro. That's pretty good utility. I think there's only one other character in the game that currently has a skill that can draw aggro, but I've never used her. Something with Oz doesn't seem like it has utility, but like just being able to kind of snipe or place it strategically in places is kind of a form of utility. So it kind of gets a plus in my book for that. Vayne T is also very famous for having a lot of utility. He can make enemies float. This skill can even launch you in the air. So after it cools down, I'll fire it off again, like just charging it. Then I can start flying. I can do plunging attacks. So that's kind of a form of utility there. Whereas Xiangling, her panda, I mean, all it's good for is just burning enemies. You could argue like, okay, maybe I could push it around, but like even then, that's not that useful. So yeah, let's look at the panda again. Like its hit rate, well, its speed. Its speed is okay. It's not that good because like when he comes out, he has to take a bite of the food before he starts breathing fire. So it's not like the burst and the speed is not, it's not the best, but it's better than some other characters. Um, its hit rate is okay. It just hits in front. Honestly, you could argue it's not that good. It's okay to not good. Its DPS, DPS is kind of a hard subject because like everybody has different builds, and honestly, I didn't really build Xiangling for attack, so that's going to be a little bit subjective. Its utility, the only utility it really has is lighting torches and trying to get that burn on enemies. But then even then, that's not that good because all skills typically have an element, right? So all skills have their utility of trying to get that debuff or that elemental debuff on the enemy. So, and the last thing is cooldown. Now, the cooldown I think is where Xiangling's skill, Panda skill, really shines because it's only 10 seconds. And for me, like I'm always, anytime I get a chance, I just switch to Xiangling. I can pop off that Panda, get that energy regeneration for the burst skill. So I would rate her cooldown for the Panda pretty good. Definitely compared to like Chi-Chi's, her ice orb skill. That's a 30-second cooldown, whereas this Panda is only 11-second cooldown. And it's kind of one thing like with the Panda is it's doing that, but like by the time it's done, breathing fire, I only have to wait maybe 3 to 4, yeah, right there, 4 more seconds before I can fire it off again. So, it's always on the field, essentially. So it's kind of another way of looking at cooldown, I guess. So these are the 5 things I will kind of look at when evaluating each skill. And, not every skill is going to have it's not going to be perfect in all of these 5 things, but just knowing how well that skill performs in each of these 5 metrics can allow you to make more intelligent decisions on how you form your party. If you know your weaknesses, like you could even form a party with Amber and just use her as getting that aggro. You could even say screw the fire damage. I don't even really care about that. Like if you're a free-to-play player, just get Amber, just get the aggro, and then you can set up some nice arrangements, some combos. You could say she's like the poor man's Fainty, where she can kind of collect mobs, I guess. So even Amber has her uses. It's just understanding those uses and just having a game plan when we go into battle. It's like okay, the first thing I want to do when I enter battle is just pop off her skill, get those enemies grouped up together with that, then immediately switch off and start building energy with my other characters and trying to get them all in these maybe high AOE situations. But anyway, that's the 5 things I look at with skills. Feel free to comment, share your thoughts, and that's it. Thanks. Bye.